Another Forzathon is approaching. The first spring Forzathon in Forza Horizon 4. It will be the Horizon anniversary, another way to win 100 Forzathon points. So the first thing you're going to need to know is what car you're going to want to use, and I'm going to do this kind of like how I used to do this in Forza Horizon 3, which I have not done for a while, and that is kind of give you a preview of the upcoming Forzathon event so you know what's going on, what you're going to need to do, and you can kind of prepare and get ready for it. So the first thing, you're going to need this car right here, the 1995 VW Corrado VR6. So the car is very cheap, it's only 20,000 credits to buy. Yes, you're probably going to want to upgrade it for parts of the Forzathon event, the weekly challenge, but it's still only 20,000 credits, so it's not going to be that bad. The whole project will cost you probably less than 100,000 credits, and it's going to give you either 100 or 200 Forzathon points if you go ahead and complete this challenge. So there's actually really no good perks. There's no body kit preset for this car either, and considering again the one challenge is to get 2 million skill score using this car, the only one I see that's worthwhile is this one right here, where you can crash or have a heavy collision twice before your skill chain's actually going to be broken. So the first challenge is literally just get that car, leave the festival, drive it, and you know, I think that's pretty straightforward. Now, the 2 million skill score, we're going to have to do this time in the VW Corrado, so a lot of people have been telling me about this spot. Every time I talk about any good spots for skill score and all that, people mention the airstrip, and I decided, you know what, let's try it out, and to be honest, this is perfect for this particular car. Like last time with the Land Rover, being an off-road vehicle, I think that spot with all the lumberjack skills and the trees and everything out by the forest was probably, in my opinion, a better spot. But for this car and this situation, I like this spot here a lot. But you see how I crashed right there? I was doing some testing, and especially at nighttime, that is why I recommend using this perk that we talked about. So it's going to cost you a few perk points to unlock, but you only have to get to the point where you can unlock that final perk on the right side. Because, trust me, if you're in the middle of doing this for the actual Forzathon, and you're just trying to get the skill score done and you don't want to waste time, this is going to help you out a lot. If you accidentally crash into something, you're going to be extremely pissed if you did not have this on. So just save up some perk points, get that, and just put it on. And here's why. And this is just me demonstrating again. And this is actually going to be from start to finish me getting what I'm going to recommend you do for this particular challenge once again for the 2 million skill score. So we're obviously in the VW Corrado. I upgraded this thing, put it, I think it's the S2 class, like at the very bottom of the S2 class. I made it all-wheel drive, I motor swapped it, basically made it as fun as it can possibly be to get this done. And I want to ask you guys' opinion about this 2 million skill score challenge, but real quick before we do that, see right here I crashed. That was completely accidental, just me doing some more testing, but I had the perk on, so it saved me, I could keep going. And we take this all the way up to 100,000 skill score. Now, unfortunately, there's no perks for this car that allow your multiplier to go higher than the normal 5, which is the maximum for the skill score multiplier. So, considering that, since it only goes to 5, what I think the best way to do it, very similar to what we did last week with the Land Rover Forza Edition, just get your skill score to 100,000. And this area, it's easy and it's also fun. I actually had fun just drifting around with this car, just messing around, getting air skills, wreckage skills, drift skills most of the time, road open, which is like a new skill in Forza Horizon 4 when you kind of hit into some of those gates at the entrances of the streets. I gotta say, the airfield is cool. I mean, whoever was the first one to find this and however it got so popular, shout out to you. This is a great spot, and I think it's perfect for any kind of more of the streetcar type, you know, things that we're gonna have to do. Now, off-road vehicles, I don't think this would be too fun here. I like that spot that we were at last week, but for this, it's perfect. Now, like I was saying though, and the reason I'm sharing with you this entire clip is I want you to see how long it takes, and it's kind of gonna fit into my question here where I ask you your opinion, because this looks like it's gonna be a challenge that we see a lot of the weeks of the Weekly Forzathon. So basically you need to get these large amounts of skill score, and the only way to get it in a reasonable amount of time is to do things like this. Just keep on going, get a ton of skill score build up, use the multiplier to your advantage, and that's the best way to do it. Now, the reason we're stopping at 100,000 is because then that way we're also going to get the maximum perk points, which is 10. So once you take your skill score up to 100,000, you times that by 5, you get 500,000 skill score, which is 1/4 of what you need for this Forzathon weekly challenge. Plus you also get your 10 perk points. Now the thing is though, do you like doing this challenge? Is this something that you can see yourself doing every single week? And the reason I ask that as well is you don't even get a car directly from doing this. You just get the Forzathon points to go to the Forzathon shop and buy whatever you want from there. Now, it's a pretty good amount of points, and it's literally the most you can get by doing anything. But for the time that it takes and for just the challenge you have to do you think it is worth it? Because if we're all in agreement and we kind of think it's just, we don't like where this is going, we'd rather see like having to do 50 of a particular skill versus sitting here and having to build up skill score, you know, I'm sure we could make that happen. If we as a community come together, kind of talk about it and try and reach out to Playground and say, hey, we're not really liking the way you're doing this, I think we could make it happen. I really do. Now, me personally, we haven't done it enough times where I'm like, man, I hate this, or you know what, I really like this, this is actually fun. Like, it's new still, and I think it's cool, but for some reason I have a feeling that, just based off of even comments from last week, and hearing people talking about it, some people are just kind of annoyed, and I think the worst part of it is the fact that you can't just get some of it done, turn off your game, and then come back on the next day and do it. You should have the full week to be able to do it in whatever speed you want to do it, as slowly or as quickly as you want to. And it seems like there's some type of issue with that, because it seems to reset when you restart the game, or you restart your console or your PC. And the thing is though, I don't know if that's intended. I don't know if Playground Games wants it to be that way. But you see, we just got the 10 the perk points. I keep saying skill perk points, but the skill mastery perk points. And we also got 500,000 skill score. So you do that 4 times. Takes about 5 or so minutes, I would say, to just do one session of that. But if you want to do it as quick as possible, you remember from last week, get the skill song from the Huntman's Lodge, buy that house, and your multiplier will go to 10. So literally you have to do one skill chain then that goes to 200,000, times it by 10 with that skill song multiplier, and you'll be done in one shot. Now, I'm not ready to buy that house yet, so that's not the way I'm going to be doing it. And again, I just want to maximize the perk points that we get. But I did just want to throw it out there, and I want to hear your opinions about that, so let me know. Third challenge is very easy. You go to the first sprint race that you unlock, the Horizon Festival Sprint. I recommend doing everything in solo. Absolutely everything. That skill thing that we just did, the 2 million skill score, winning that race, winning the sprint race, definitely just do that in solo. And I recommend doing the clean skills in solo as well. I mean, the clean ones, you should just be able to do them, I would just do the same race, honestly. I recommend going into a lower class too. The lower the class, the easier it is to get clean skills, because the clean racing skills, they won't pop as often as certain other skills. It takes a little bit of time, so the slower the car, the better. You'll be able to get more of them in a single race, and I basically just show this race just so you can see what happens. The goal is to not have any big major collisions. You don't want to bump into the drivatars, you don't want to slam into the wall, because when you do that, it kind of will cancel out and kind of reset, and it will take longer for you to get the clean racing, as you see it pop right there. So keep that in mind. Your goal is to just not slam into anything. You can hit, like I think I'm about to do here, like a street sign or some bushes or anything that's not a huge impact. But if you slam into a drivatar or a wall, it will cancel it, and you're not going to get your clean racing skill. So just keep that in mind. But that is pretty much it for the Horizon Anniversary Weekly Challenge, which will be the Spring Forzathon event, the very first Spring Forzathon event. Forzathon Weekly Challenge. I'm still getting used to saying that, but it's pretty easy. It just, again, time consuming. It takes some time. You're going to need time to sit down and do it, because the challenges will reset. And the only one you probably will have to worry about is definitely the 2 million skill score, unless they change things, and maybe the 10 clean racing skills as well. So if anyone has any questions about any of this, any issues, that's why I want to start covering this before the Forzathon gets here again, so we can talk about it, figure things out, and then I'll go back and actually complete it. I'll make another video so I can see issues that I might have, and also I will have heard issues that other people have had in the past, or when they go to actually do this particular Forzathon. So I really hope this video helps everyone out. Again, any questions, just let me know in the comment section. As always, hope you have a fantastic day. Peace, guys.